Vicky here with you, and I promised you that I was going to show you how I make my barn wood. So I'm using some pine, just the regular type of pine. I'm surprised my husband cut this one that way, because there's a bunch of he didn't do that good of a job of the bottom part of it, but we'll make it work, because anyway, barn wood is not perfect, far from it. So I have two samples here that I've done. One which is much more dark, and I'm not sure how the lighting is, guys, but I'm trying the best I can with what I have in the garage, because I need a big space for this. So I have this one which is much pale, and this one which is much darker. I'm trying to get something closer to this, but with a bit more gray in it. So the products that I'm using are from Saman, and it's water-based. It's wood stain. I found it at Rona, which is a local, but it was bought out by Lowe's. So if you have a Lowe's, you might have those. So this is the black. You've got the hop, and then you have the iron earth. So the iron earth is the one that I start with, and that's the gray aspect. And to make this, I'm using some rags. That's what I found was the best way to apply this thing. So you just start applying it, and you want to try not to not to show your mark so much. So I try to be like, I don't want to have such a big mark on one of them. Like right now, this is really dark compared to the rest. And as you put more stain, you can make it darker, or you can make it more pale. So I usually do all of one step at one time. And like I said, I try to go to be very light. It's always the first few times that you do it. It's always the hardest. Once you get your groove, it's a lot easier. And this is not the best setup. When I was when I did it initially, I was outside, so you've got a much better lighting. But it's winter time, so, well, it's almost spring, but it's still really cold outside, so it's not the best of times to be out staining wood. And this doesn't really smell, so it's not like you're doing something super smelly that you need a lot of ventilation. This is really not that bad. Actually, I don't smell it at all. So like I said, I try to do all of one color, and then I'll go and do all of the other color, just because it's easier. And I didn't find that it made any difference whether I did that or not. You can hear the saw inside. My husband's cutting other pieces of wood, get them ready for me to stain them. I've got a feeling I'm going to need to go and get more stain. I had plenty to make the project that I was making this summer, but now I've got a lot more wood to stain, so it's not going to be as easy. Okay, so finish with the gray. So I close it off, because knowing myself, I'll drop it all over it, and then it's going to make a big mess. So the next one I put is the hop, which is the brown tinge one. and it makes it pop a lot more. I'm hoping you guys can see. And yeah, I watched other people do it, and I saw a bunch of different techniques and methods, and I kind of took it from there and adapted it to my own style, because none of the ones I saw were really exactly what I was looking for. So kind of made it my own. It's not, it doesn't take that long, but it's mostly after the varnish that you have to do. That's a long process as well. Somebody didn't know I was filming. And I tried to use the pine that has the most knots inside it, because barnwood obviously is weathered, and it's not the expensive type of wood that you would use for that. So it's a better finish, I find, if you use that. So move that aside. Okay, then the last step is the black. And the black, you really don't want to put a lot, because it really goes a long way. And you'll find that if you put too much, you really mess it up. So you really want to just sparingly put a bit. And then I usually try to wipe it down. I try not to have too much, because it really does darken it a lot. And you do need it, but like I said, you don't want to put too much, because then it can really ruin whatever you were making. And I'm going to go over it again with the brown and with a bit more gray. I have to be careful with putting it on the wood, because I don't want to end up spilling it, because that, especially that one, would totally ruin whatever I was making. Okay, so now I'm going to go back with the brown, and I'm going to go over some of the edges that I made with the black. And blend them more. And the last one I'm going to do is the gray again. So basically I do pretty much like I do with my Copics, which is from light to dark and then back again. Now I will need to do all the sides, like the two sides as well, because that obviously needs to be done in order for it to be finished. And I tried to put some where it was lighter initially, because I don't want it too light, because barnwood, it can be, you know, kind of dark. Some of it is totally grayish. I'm not going for the totally gray. As you saw, my walls are gray already, and I do want it to pop. But I do need it to fit, and I don't want it too pale because then it's not going to look like barnwood. So that's pretty much it. And we have this type of effect, which I find is quite cool, and we'll varnish it and then we'll put it on the walls. I'm gonna go and check against my walls to know if I like the color or if I need to add something else. And yeah. And if you're interested, let me know and I'll show you the finished room at a later date. Bye everyone!